Division 2, race I believe 7 in Monaco, and it's looking like clear weather for today. Connor will not be joining us for today as he is actually racing tonight in a chance to get the Triple Crown. Of course, being Le Mans, the Indy 500 and now Monaco. So beside me today, I will be having Blaze by Gaming, who was your commentator last season. Say hi, Blaze.
Good evening.
Okay, and unlike last race in Division 1, it'll be a morning race. So let's see who will be out first today to take pole position.
This should be a good race today. Monaco always seems to deliver in New Horizons, especially in Division 1 last week. Plenty of dramas. Hopefully it'll be the same today. I remember last season in Division 2 it was a very good race, so hopefully we should have another repeat of that today.
So Colin's retiring from the session there because of his previous penalties in Spain. Of course, stewards believing after the race in the Turn 1 collision that both Collins, Ellie, and I believe it is Feared by Gaming would have a qualifying ban. But the first driver to be out onto the grid is, from what I see, is a Reynolds.
Raceway.
And it's Raceway. Raceway is one of the more impactful drivers in this race. He has more of a mixed bag. He's usually have pretty good starts and to stick in P3. He's consistent, that's for sure. But he's never really bothered the front step of the podium.
Yeah, I think Raceway, a very good racer. I've seen very special stuff from him in the past, so I'm hoping one day he can get the result that he deserves, whether it be in Division 2 or Division 1. He really does deserve it for sticking around with us since the start of the season.
Yep. So we're going to be on board with him for the first lap of this race. Some information about Monaco. It is one of the smallest races of the year with the highest amount of laps. This race, I believe, could be, Blaze, correct me if I'm wrong, but 36 laps, is it?
38.
38 laps. See, thank you for helping me out there. But yeah, so a lot of tire wear and a lot of laps. So one of the longer races of this game and the season, as well as in real life. And because of its tight nature, it makes it a really hard track to overtake around. So qualifying is even more important than it is before. Anyways, first off of the day by Raceway, and it's currently looking pretty strong.
Coming up the hill now, very nice through turn 1, now through Casino, keeping it nice and tight to the wall.
Great turn.
Very good.
Want to make sure the bump stays like that. Perfect.
Down into Mirabeau, a bit deep there, a bit early on the throttle, but gets a nice go deep into the hairpin here. You really need to get that right for a good lap time. Yellow flag in sector 3, and it looks like it's been cleared. Back on board with Raceway now as he comes through the tunnel down into the chicane. There's a very nice entry if he can get it cleaned up on the exit. A bit of wheel spin there, but down into to back. He keeps it nice, a little bit of contact with the wall through this chicane, very tidy. Down to Raskas now. Got to get it slowed down for that very tight corner, and he boxes.
So believing that lap's not a good lap, possibly because it's going so wide at the hairpin there. Hairpin, it's not the end of the world to go wide, but you will lose quite a few tenths. It still takes the fastest lap today. The second one I believe to get to the end is James, who goes third fastest.
Zenix Josh.
Zenix Josh goes fastest.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
topping the timesheets. Sorry, I'm just going to put the track map on. Oh, it is on.
So far, 3 drivers at a time. DXS is coming around the last 3 corners now. It's been a pretty clean lap so far. He's going to come past the line and get first place by 0.6 of a second. Very nice lap then. DXS. Ooh, he needs straight to the wall. Luckily it was on that in lap, but that's going to need a new front wing.
Sorry about this. It's confusing me because it says that I've got my track map on, but it's not appearing on my screen. So apologies for that. as Reese now leaving the pit lane alongside Twonk in that Red Bull. On their outlaps now, as Charlie starts his flying lap in that sister car, that sister Red Bull, down into Mirabeau now. Twonk, his teammate, getting out of the way. Reese is going to need to get out of the way too. If he's not careful, he could impede his lap. Quite a nice entry there for Charlie as he comes through the hairpin. Bit of wheel spin there. Ooh, slidey back end on that Red Bull. He might need to maybe put a bit more rear downforce on. As you leave.
He's been hindered. Ooh. Reese not letting him pass, and it's hindered his lap time. Charlie's gonna have to go again.
I think Charlie got wing damage. Sorry to cut in.
Stewards might look at that incident in qualifying, especially in Monaco, where qualifying is so important. But he's gonna need to do front wing in a new lap to go out. Or if he stays out, what is this? I don't know if it was a mistake, but Charlie's missing a front wing. He's gonna have to go again. Unless his front wing stayed on him. Just checking.
Yeah, it sure is interesting.
And now he's missing 2 plates. Yeah, he's gonna need to come in.
It is interesting the fact that he has stayed out.
Yeah, I would have gone in with that wing damage, especially around Monaco. And now he's just lost the whole side of his wing. Yeah.
Oh, Carp's going through the final corner there. Just catches the back end on that inside barrier and spins it into the wall, but he does not get damaged, so he can start his lap. It will just compromise him down into turn 1.
The thing is, Blaze, the barriers around here, because these cars have such wide rear tires, it may look like a good entry. The fact is, they go so tight that the rear just clips the inside of the barrier and snaps them straight around. We see it a lot in the chicane after the tunnel and even in the last sector, but drivers have to be wary that sometimes the tightest option is not always the best option. It could actually be pretty risky.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in real life in 2019 when Charles Leclerc went down the inside of Grosjean, I believe, and clipped the inside wall and spun it around. So, yeah, these cars are very wide these days, and Monaco being a really narrow circuit, they do really have to be careful, and it takes a lot of skill, especially on the games, to not pick up any damage.
Yes, definitely. A driver starting to finish this lap now is Carps, who's going down the final sector. No, he's spending the lap, I believe. The next driver to come down is Connor's on this flying lap.
We'll ride on board with our missing commentator for today.
Yeah. He's our usual commentator. I'm sure anyone that watches our streams regularly will know that, but he's aiming for the Triple Crown, and if it takes up his commentary role, so be it. So
I believe he's missing.
So far, a pretty good lap in McLaren. He's going pretty well. He went a bit wide in that corner, but nothing wrong with that.
He's missing an M plate.
Oh, he is.
That's interesting to see that
he's lap.
Yeah,
he hasn't given up on the lap yet, but
whether he picked that up at turn 1 or before he started his lap will yet to be known. But
well, the time the beats at 111.1 from DXS, definitely gonna be Division 1 driver at the end of the season. Of course, fingers crossed. So it's gonna be interesting to see how our league manager is gonna do compared to the races. And actually goes P2 down a short win.
Yeah, that's very tidy lap there from Cabrincon.
And he did have that damaged front wing.
Yeah, and he must have picked it up quite early in the lap because I noticed it on the run down to Mirabeau. So that is quite a shot. That's quite quite shocking that he's actually managed to put that into P2 as he runs deep into Mirabeau doing a Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, Nico Rosberg, nice one. So driver on this flying lap right now. I believe it is a Reynolds. Yeah, Raceway's about to finish his lap. He hasn't set up the lap time yet, but on the medium tires, he will go P. Oh no, he's just started his lap. Well, apparently,
might have invalidated.
It didn't say outlap on my timing. so I don't know what that was, but he's gonna go again on those mediums. SLM11 finishing her lap, goes to 10th. Of course, SLM11, a Division 1 driver. She's been pretty consistent, getting P10 finishes in the race. Never been a spectacle in qualifying, but always made it up, like including the race. It's gonna be interesting when she pairs against a Division 2 driver today.
It'd be interesting to see if she can get into the mix with being a Division 1 driver.
Raceway invalidates.
We would hope to see her quite high up, but not always the case, especially with a track like Monaco. Unpredictable things do happen, so...
In fact, Charlie also invalidating on his lap. We're seeing a lot of brief track limits as perhaps Charlie and Raceway. Charlie and Raceway, two podium contenders, not with a lap time yet. And this could play into the hands of DXS if he ends up taking this pole position, especially in a track like Monaco, where you really need that to push and maintain a lead. Either way, Raceway is back into the pit lane. Charlie's for another lap. He'll be the only one doing a lap so far. Actually, in saying that, ooh, he goes into the wall. This will be maintained this front lane now. I don't know if he did.
I've just realised, as Charlie goes round Casino there, losing the back end a tad, that I was using the wrong menu to turn on the track map. Just showing that I don't often spectate. I've figured it out now. We have the track map on screen.
Got it, yeah. Okay, so as I was saying, Charlie, down the tunnel now for his first lap. Ooh, takes a really heavy curve over there.
Doesn't
and actually, one thing that a lot of people don't know is that turn he just did the chicane after the tunnel in Monaco, it's a really big make-or-break corner because a lot of people just maintains the grip there. A lot of people actually go a bit too wide, and a lot of people tend to, I don't want to say cut the chicane, but take it really tight to the point where they're just about on the track limits, and it really does help them gain a few tenths. Charlie goes P7 on warm soft tires. Hopefully he can get out for a new lap on better rubber.
Yellow flag sector 3, I think that is just Brian Con slowing down, yeah, as he goes to start his lap. See where he can put the McLaren with a fixed front wing this time.
Oh, and there's his wing. Yeah, he lost his end plate there. And you see with a lot of drivers actually losing their wing before the lap even starts. And there's another yellow flag. Is that Raceway?
I believe that's just drivers slowing down on the track. As Cabran Khan does have a moment with the wall there, coming through Casino. A very tough sequence of corners is Casino through to Mirabeau. Very easy to hit the wall, and you do want to make sure you go around the bump rather than over it.
I mean, you hear all the time, the one who doesn't hit the wall is usually the one that does good around here. Sure, you can be the fastest driver in the world, but if you just keep making contact and losing your wing, what's the point, to be honest? It's like, sure, you can be the fastest person on track, but if you have a four-stop strategy because you have horrible protection and damage reduction, honestly, this Monaco's is a track view as Connor comes in, I believe, a new set of tires, because that last time wasn't good enough. The closest driver to next new time will be a Ferrari, and that's Reese's Ferrari.
Carp's leaving the pits, I believe.
Yep, he's gonna go for his, I believe, last lap of qualifying. So Reese comes around the last corner and goes into the pit lane. So we're seeing a lot of drivers abandon their laps, have another shot at qualifying. Reese being one of them. Avalanche is now going to come down the final corner. And Avalanche will get P1.
Wow, great lap there from Avalanche.
That's a shocker, yeah. I haven't seen Avalanche put and Raceway goes P2.
Wow, that's also a very good lap from
Avalanche
Raceway.
And Raceway turning up the heat and drivers behind. How will DXS respond to that kind of lap? He's currently coming around the last sector now.
I think DXS has the pace in him. He's a very fast driver
Yes.
and a very consistent driver. As long as he can just keep out of the barriers today, he'd
Well,
have
he's
a...
definitely pushing. He's coming down the last corner now. Will he
He'll
get
have it.
P1?
No,
No, he won't.
doesn't
He
improve.
has not improved, and that'll be his last lap unless he tries again right now. But for now, we're looking at Avalanche taking pole position in this race.
Unless Carbranchon or DXS can stop him, but I believe DXS has backed off, so he's either charging his battery.
Well, there's
Or
only
that
really
could
one
be
thing
it.
he can do right now. Is either pull in, save his tires, or risk it all, turn on the energy, and do one more flying lap. But if he wants pole position in this race, he's gonna have to do his final lap after this one. Another driver on his flying lap is Zenix Josh, who's actually navigated, so we're gonna go on him. Charlie has left the session.
Believe he might have just lagged out.
Might have
Carps,
lagged out.
Carps
It's
is
another
still
injury.
yet to set a time, which is very interesting to see. As
Of course, not too crazy to see in Monaco of all places. It does
yeah.
tend to happen.
Track limits can be as narrow and as tight as the circuit is. You'd expect track limits to be the least of your concerns, but especially going through the chicane.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's the fact that when they hit the wall, they just lose too much time, and there's a wall everywhere you see. So, I won't say it's track limits, even though he has very possible to breach track limits after tunnel chicane, and in the last chicane during the last corner. But usually it's just drivers hitting the wall and not being able to take a shot. Saying that Carps does put in a banker lap just to make sure he gets past and is starting last in quali.
Yeah. Just want
So
to point.
Connor's doing his lap now. I believe this is his fastest lap.
I do want to just point out the fact that DXS did pull into the pit lane. That could be his last.
Yes, that'll be his last.
That would be
He'll
his
be starting
last.
in P3 if Connor can do anything about it. He's putting all he can into this car right now.
Pushing so hard is Carbranchon. Dropping down into first gear to get that extra rotation. A bit of TRL
He's gonna come down the line, and he is gonna
pole.
go P1 by 3/10 of a second.
I believe it's provisional pole, unless anybody behind can stop him. But Raceway, I think.
Oh, and I can hear him celebrating in his cockpit right now. He must be saying yes, because that is a 3-second gap to Avalanche. Other drivers on their laps. Wonk, Dylan, Reese, coming on the final corner right now, validated. And Feared by Gaming. So let's go on board Feared by Gaming, who's the closest to the line right now. Coming down the last 3 corners. Actually hits the wall a bit. I don't think he lost his front wing, but that's an invalidation. The next driver who's going to cross the line will be Dylan.
Oh my god. Sorry, Feared by Gaming doing a Charles Leclerc there, hitting the wall at Rascas, but managing to actually keep it out of the barriers, so fair
Dylan
play to
Valdes
him.
lap. So the next driver on a normal lap is Twonk.
Taking a few tips from his dirt rallying, his time doing the Dirt Rally Championship, I see, Feared by Gaming.
So drivers retiring now to go to their race. Twonk is going to pass the line and go P3. Wow.
Raceway has actually had the chance to set a time, even though the the clock had run down. So this is quite a shock. I mean, I know this glitch does exist in the game.
Yeah, a lot of drivers now finishing their laps. Reese is in P8. He will maintain P8. Raceway has
my-
fun. Oh,
Very
Same thing,
unfortunate
exact thing.
there for Raceway.
he's hit the rear and they just lost it. And Charlie will also be affected by that on his out lap.
And
Another
Josh
driver
going backwards as well.
Josh.
This means that
Josh is
Carbranchon
in the rear.
will get pole here in Monaco. I don't know if he's here or not. Are you here?
I am here.
Oh, Connor, how you feeling?
Seriously, That's the most nervous qualifying session I've ever had.
I can only imagine how you felt when you went 3 seconds faster in the avalanche right there.
No, I was just a bit worried at the time. I was in P4, but what really scared me was I was aware that Twonk, the Red Bull, he was coming out as soon as I started my lap. And not only was he in front of me going up the hill after Sandevot, but his car also went AI. And he was weaving a bit, so...
Okay, so what's your strategy come the start of the race? Like, what are you going to do to maintain that lead?
Probably cut turn 1. It was worth a warning to pull away from everyone else.
Please don't.
No, I only mean that in a light-hearted way, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this difficult. And I was expected to be toward the front, but no. Oh my god, Charlie.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a crash and a half. That was like my crash last season.
That's one way to retire a car, that's for sure.
But yeah, again, my own track record in Nhrl around Monaco, I've only ever finished once, and that was last season. I finished 4th.
Well, best of luck to you.
Run down to the grid. Sorry.
Yeah, just do the top 3 from here.
Okay. Carbrancon puts it on pole for his return in Division 2. During the Monaco Grand Prix, Avalanche in P2, around about 3/10 back from our pole sitter, and Twonk rounding off the podium places, provisional podium places, in P3.
Also going to mention Raceway and DXS there. DXS not doing the best in quality today. Raceway, pretty much where you should be. One person who's I'm interested in is Charlie, who's only finished in P10 this race. So Connor, we'll let you go and do your race now. Thanks for being with us.
Yep. Yeah. So already I've just scored points for pole position. Hopefully that will do McLaren some good in the constructors. They've not had the best of luck so far this season. I'll see you guys later. Anyone else watching, have a nice race, and I hope this is one that I can remember for quite a while.
Yep. Hopefully we can talk to you at the end of this race in the post-race interviews, and have a good race.
Yep, cheers.
Good luck. I do just want to point out, both the Williams boys, both on the medium compound tyre in P9 and P11 respectively. Looking at
P9
both
and
of
P11, that's good.
Yeah, both of them taking the alternate strategy, going medium to soft for this race. It is a one-stop strategy around this circuit, unless you do get damage. Going for the formation lap here, everybody needs to get heat into those tyres.
Okay, so for the full grid rundown, you're looking at Connor on pole, also known as Carbrancon. He will hopefully get the best start possible to defend against Avalanche. Avalanche, his best start of the season, will be starting in second. Next to Twonk's, I believe, equal or best start of the season. In third place, Raceway, good for his team in Nhrl to start 4th place. DXS, bit of an underwhelming qualifying from him. He'll be starting in 5th. Dylan, rather normal qualifying for him. He'll be starting in 6th place in the Ferrari. The next Josh, on his return, will be starting 7th. Reese will also be doing some good in that Ferrari in P8. James the Killer, he will be on the medium tires, starting in P9 in front of our championship leader, Charlie. Unfortunately, starting in P10 after a strictly qualifying. Behind him on the mediums is Feared by Gaming. He'll be hoping to get a good start and become most of his medium tires without the safety car in this race. SLM11, good finish and for a D1 driver, as usual. Underwhelming for Division 2, but she's done really good in the race, and hopefully she can keep it like that on the medium tires, so same good for them. Carp's also on the mediums, underwhelming qualifying, put in a lot just to stay in front of the 2 qualified band people. Carps will be beginning P13. Collins will be also on the medium tires. He'll be starting 14th with the qualifying band, same with Ellie, also on the medium tires. That's the full grid, and Connor is now going to the line to start the race.
Do you want to do the? You want to do the race start?
Yeah, I'll be happy to.
All right.
First time this season. Usually it's Connor doing it. Usually have a glitch. Just hope it's not today. 5 red lights.
Oh.
And they all get away. There we go. I knew it was gonna happen. Connor gets a good start. Avalanche bogs down. Twong gets into 2nd place. DXS gets 4th place. Raceway drops down a bit. A lot of cars side by side down the 2nd sector as seeing wing damage at the back of the field. James gets overtaken by Reese. A lot of cars side by side. I'm seeing more wing damage on the Williams of James the Killer right there. Oh, very tight. All looking pretty clean for now. As Twonk actually gets overtaken by Avalanche. All cars coming down the hairpin now. Ooh, as the Williams gonna send it down the inside. Who is that? That's James. When he hits the rear of the racing of the Red Bull right there. So far, he has a pretty clean start. Connor has pulled a 1-second lead in front of Avalanche. Twonk is being pressured by DXS, and who's actually right behind him, 2/10 behind. SLM11 goes to the bottom of the grid. Has something happened with her?
It's looking like quite heavy wing damage on that Alfa Romeo. Or, yeah, sorry, Alfa Romeo.
Hopefully she can get back in the race today. DXS is right behind Twonk. We have a run down to turn 1. Connor with the first stop on the race in the first lap.
Oh, Reese.
After Dylan is in the pit.
Sorry to cut in. Reese there did go to pit, but I think Dylan, having the track position, did pit before him and choosing Reese choosing not to pit as he didn't want to be held up in the pits, and because of that, getting the inside line into the final corner, meaning that he did actually touch the wall on the inside and do what I think Carps did in qualifying and almost put it back into the wall. There is wing damage on that Ferrari.
Hopefully he can deal that input damage as he can. He's going to need a pit for a new wing though, that's for sure, because Monaco is not happy to keep those things. Feared by, actually DXS is only 4/10 behind Twonk. Monaco, really tough track to overtake in, but he's going to try the best to get past them in this race. Twonk pushing as hard as he could. Usually he doesn't make it this far in the race. At the start, usually gets put down to last place, but he's doing good this time, and has the luck of Monaco on his side. DXS is right behind him. No DRS until the 3rd lap. Avalanche getting the fastest lap of the race. DXS, is he going to send it? No. Though Twonk does go a bit wide, and DXS is going to be right behind him. Still nothing to gain right there. DXS is being held up pretty hard right now. Hopefully he can get past Twonk and put some pressure on the 2 cars in front. Meanwhile, behind Zenix, Josh is right behind Raceway.
Should we do biggest winners and losers after the first 2 laps?
Oh, very much. I'll let you take it away.
Biggest winners would be a 3-way tie between Carps, Collins and Ellie, all gaining 4 positions each in P9, P10 and P11 respectively. Biggest loser is Dylan down in P13 with a position change of -7. That sure is a shame for the Ferrari driver and for Ferrari's constructors' hopes, as both of them now out of the points as they both had to pit for wing damage. But it's all heating up after Feared by Gaming getting a 3-second penalty, and there is yellow flag sector 3, and I believe it's a virtual safety car. Sorry, my apologies. We do have a VSC here. Our first
no one has
taste.
Retired in the race.
Yeah. Our first taste of riding on board with Ellie there. Sorry to cut in again. She's just going through the swimming pool. She has picked up more wing damage, meaning that she will have to pit and put a new wing on that Alfa Romeo, as she did go into the wall after the swimming pool chicane.
So after all those pit stops, DXS actually stayed out, didn't notice the safety car. So Twonk will have the advantage on him. DXS will try to maybe pick this lap, so as well as Avalanche and Connor. Not sure though, the safety car might end, and it has ended. And they're in green flag running. So Twonk has the advantage on pit stops. Let's see if he can actually get a good position when these drivers do pit. pit stop time is around lap 9 to lap 10, I'd say, maybe even lap 8. Let's go from the mediums to the hard or even medium tire, which actually does last pretty well on this track. But so far, it's looking pretty good, sorry. James is right behind Xenix Josh, and we'll be putting pressure on him. DRS now activated. We'll be using that to try and make some passes down at turn 1. Not in a normal place to pass a car, but it's definitely possible.
Carp's picking up another 3-second penalty. Track limits really proving an issue to that McLaren driver in P12.
Yeah, what I've noticed is actually the Williams, both starting on the medium tires, they have stayed out and are in P5 and 6, so it's been a pretty good start for both of them, and Williams as a whole. It's going to be interesting to see how they get on by the end of this race, because those tires are going to help them a lot at converting a possible medium to hard or medium to soft tire strategy, comparing, assessing on how to do at the end of this race, tire wear-wise. Dylan and Ellie are back in the pits for some reason. I think they both had their own kind of damage. Dylan, unfortunately, 11 seconds behind the nearest person. The lowest battle on track will be Raceway and Twonk. Both of them have pitted for new tires, and they are fighting on the track. Twonk actually jumped Raceway in the pit lane because of the VSC. And it'll be interesting. Actually, no, wait, no. Raceway has actually gained on Twonk. I think he's behind him. Ellie gets a 5-second penalty.
Actually, I believe the closest on-track battle would be James and Xenix Josh, as they go into turn 1 there, and James giving Josh a little bit of a tap there, as Feared by Gaming is closing as well.
Of course, they're both teammates, so they won't go too hard on each other, but it's good to see a little bit of battle in the same car.
Yeah, Feared by Gaming will want to be communicating with James here just to make sure that there are no in-team incidents, as they do get very close into their hairpin, but that's good driving by Feared not to touch the back of his teammate. It's very close here, only about a second separating them, as
So, as we're talking about this, DXS is slowly cutting into Connor's lead. I've been noticing by a few tenths this lap. Connor's going to be pushing his life away, but DXS definitely has the advantage. But the real person with the advantage is Twonk, as there's a yellow flag. And there is a huge battle at the back here.
VSC again.
So
It's Feared by Gaming gets a 3-second penalty.
And Connor's definitely going to come in and slap for a new set of tires. Actually, no, he's already passed it. Oh no. No one's in the pits yet.
Oh, Feared by Gaming is
the
in.
Williams are in. Feared by Gaming's in. Using the basic car to advantage. He might actually have an advantage on the Red Bulls. If he can come out in front of Twonk, he might have a chance to win the race.
Oh, new wing for Feared by Gaming as Ellie retires. She's hit, I think, turn 1. I believe.
On board Avalanche.
Yeah, she's just gone into the wall at turn 1.
Her rear tire's gone. Unfortunate for her, that'll be her first day of the evening. Of course, it's already a virtual safety car, so there won't be a full safety car, but drivers are dodging her car. I don't think any wing damage was taken off, but
Carps is in again.
hopefully that car can be put away pretty quickly. Ferrari's not going to come near her. Dodges her. Okay, she's gone now, thank God. That's not a good place for the car to be. So 3-bit games actually come out in front of Twonk, and that's interesting because Twonk put it on the SDC, or VSC, sorry, a lap earlier, so I wonder if he'll be able to jump some of the front runners in this race when they pit. But so far we're seeing pretty good racing, considering it's Division 2. Not many crashes, it's still 14 cars in the race.
Yeah, James down in P4 actually does have wing damage, and still managing to stay with Josh, which could be showing that the softs are starting to wear out, as
oh, very much.
As with wing damage, he is still staying with him, so fair play to the Williams driver, and maybe you can convert this into maybe an overtake, but we'll just have to see what happens.
I am currently on board with the battle between Racers, Waffles, and Plate. And it's on new tires too. That's gonna Let him suffer a bit. We're just gonna maybe have to come in for a new wing. As Charlie actually overtakes him. Yeah, he's gonna need a new wing. Gonna need a new wing for that. So far, everything's looking spaced out. Closest battle on track, I'd say, is James and Josh, as Twonk will fall back. Or not Twonk, Rachel will fall back from Red Bulls.
Yellow flag sector 3. I believe
like
that's Carps. No, it's Carps. He's backwards on the track. Wow,
he's recovered now, but that's not going to help his 26-second deficit. As Racer takes a time penalty, probably on that wing, that broken front wing.
James Killer pitting now for a new wing. He is putting a new wing on that Williams with as well as the hard compound of tyres, leaving the pit there fairly speedy stop. You know, to put a new wing on as well. So I think
can definitely make it. That's for sure. It's just hopefully doesn't make any more mistakes in this race.
Yeah, he's been jumped by his teammate by a few places actually. That battle between him and Xenix Josh clearly proven that it was slowing him down, and if only he could get past him, that would mean that he would have been in free air, and he may even still be ahead of Fidbike Gaming. But no, he has jumped him in the pits during the first round of pit stops here. Safety car.
Oh, safety car. This is strange because there's no DNF on track.
Yeah.
With Ellie.
DXS.
Is this for wing damage and debris? I'm not sure.
Yeah, DXS actually changing his wing, showing that maybe that could actually just be some debris on track.
Mediums too. Interesting strategy from DXS. Nhrl's going to come in at the end of this lap, but he might be jumped by DXS. We'll try to gain on him.
Yeah, this really won't help Carbrancon at all, as he will need to slow down and follow the Delta, as will DXS, but DXS has pitted. The only thing Connor's got to hold on to now is the fact that DXS had to change his wing. Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but I think Connor will still get out in front.
Yeah, me too. It's just a matter of if the safety car lets some gain on Connor, or if there's a Delta to follow. If he has a Delta to follow, Connor will maintain position, but as we see, DXS is gaining on him slightly, but not losing. So he will come in.
Yeah, Connor is in. He's going to pit for a new set of tyres, as those softs do look
on the
rather
medium
worn.
tires, I believe. Yep. Yellow wall tires. We should have got to the end of the race. DXS way behind. Connor will maintain his first position, and this is pretty much played into his hands.
Connor, is that you?
No.
Ah, sorry, that's my bad. I thought I heard a mic.
I don't know why he would turn on his mic midway through a race.
Oh, you think he is? Because I can hear. Connor, if you can hear me, I think you've accidentally flicked your mic on. So just no rush. Okay, I think I think he's turned it back.
This car's not an AI on track. Either way, we can't hear him, so as long as we don't hear him like talking or anything.
Oh,
Driving
wow.
penalty for Reese and P7.
Speeding under the safety car.
Under the safety car.
Well, that's really unlucky for him, as he literally just passed the pit lane. Not that you can serve a drive-through penalty during a safety car anyway. So he will have to wait until this safety car goes in before he actually does serve his penalty.
You know what I've noticed? The safety car tends to come out more than usual now. Before it was the safety car would never come out in collisions. Now it's coming out without collisions. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. I think to show that the more realism of safety car or / VSC coming out for debris on track as Reese gets another 3-second penalty for multiple
Oh my
warnings.
God. Reese gotta calm down a bit. But yeah, in my opinion, if I was a developer, I'd make it as simple as if there's a DNF, somewhere where cars will be hindered, it should be a safety car. If not, a VSC. Reese is not into the pit lane for his drive. It's too interesting now. Yeah, it should just be like that. If a collision's on the road, it should be a safety car. If not, it should be a VSC. I don't know why it's so hard to do, after picking out the developers that, but for some reason you just haven't got it right. And now we're kind of seeing the opposite as we've seen in the last game, where the safety cars coming out way too much.
Yeah, I think F1 2019, it definitely started with safety cars not really appearing at all. It was very rarely one would actually come out unless it was a serious accident. So I think the fact that they patched that really did help us. Avalanche getting a 5-second penalty for colliding with Collins there. So I'm not really sure what's happened.
Of course, they've had this glitch where they make slight collisions and count as a penalty. Could always be removed if it is the case. If not, Avalanche up a second penalty. But let's pretend like that didn't happen for now.
The safety car should be coming in not this lap but next lap, depending on if I think that's SLM11, if she can catch up to the safety car.
Well, I mean, she's pretty far back.
But then again, she's racing. She's going at basically racing speed.
Carps actually was being lapped, so he is near the front. So he won't have to catch up. But I believe next lap will be the time when the safety car comes in. But new biggest winner for sure, Feared by Gaming, who will be on brand new hard tires, which are, if I look correctly, are not so brand new actually. They're 6 laps old. And Twonk and Reese both with 10 lap and 9 lap old tires. So tires are getting old. Connor's only 2 laps old, pitting on the safety car. It's gonna be interesting to see how the restart of the race will happen. I want to see if DXS will be able to jump Connor on the straight, or if Connor will be able to defend, and what maybe Xanax Josh or Feared by Gaming can do to disrupt that.
Yeah, everybody has pitted now, so people can go to the end, so it will just be pure racing from lap 13 to 39. Unless people do get wing damage. That will be
Or
what Feared by Gaming... Yeah, Feared by Gaming will be hoping for one of those options to happen. As on those harder tyres, it will be more difficult to catch up to, say, or catch up and pass Xenix Josh or DXS on those yellow wool medium compounder tyre. So, yeah, he will be hoping for a collision of some sort in front of him. Safety car in this lap.
I believe 11 is at the back of the field now. Yep, she has made it. Connor's going to be scrubbing the hell out of those tires, and he's going to hope to get a really fast restart when the safety car does come in. Okay, so enough waiting around, we're going to see some racing again. Connor, he's gonna go. He's gone. He's gone. Losing the rear a lot there. His overtake on, but DXS has a bit of a run on him. DXS, you actually have a corner for the second lap. DXS still right behind him. So Connor getting away well. Behind, not many changes in the positions. Somebody's in the pits, that's Carps. Twonk being a bit disturbed by a Williams, and that's James. As behind, a lot of cars are going deep into the hairpin.
Carps has now been lapped by everybody on the field.
Yeah, unfortunate race for Carps, but stay in the race in case someone does have an unfortunate accident and he gets pushed to the P10. Also, never know if there could be another safety car. But we'll see what happens. So I'm letting it put this penalty right there. As Collins is very close to Avalanche.
Yellow flag sector
James, what's happening
3.
to James? James
that-
had wing damage, oh no. He's falling back. He's gonna be in the pit lane. As Connor just left his lap of the race.
This was turning out to be a very
James is
good
tired.
race for...
It seems that James is retired in the pit lane. And that's gonna put a yellow flag in sector 3.
Well, it was turning out to be a very good race for Feared by Gaming James and the Williams crew as a whole. This will hinder them now, as Feared by Gaming being the only Williams left on track. It's sure is a shame to see this.
Retired. Oh, interesting. Carp's also retiring in the pit lane. Interesting to see this. But that will put us 2 positions away from points for everyone in the grid. And Connor is still leading the race. DXS in second. Thanks, Josh. Going for 3rd place in the race. Because there's some drivers coming in for new tires near the end, as Twonk and Reese. Actually, Reese has to come in for his drive for the Red Balloon. Collins falls back as the stage are taken, I believe. Actually, yeah. Collins has full wing damage. It's a completely missing wing. And safety car as he hits the wall and is just tired. Very lucky there.
Another safety car here. Looks like we'll be sitting here for a few more laps.
Yep. Better get comfortable. Welcome to Monaco. Yeah, it looks like Collins lost his full wing in that butt out of safety car. He actually hit the wall pretty hard, but he didn't get tire removed. In fact, he hit gas at full speed pretty much. So it's interesting to see that he's still in this race. But he better be happy about it, because actually SLM11 has DNF'd.
Oh.
What is happening? And there's a Reynolds stop on track. That's Raceway. Or not Raceway, who is that? Did you see that? Oh, that's a safety car, never mind. Huh. It's just stopped in the middle of the track. Okay, a bit of glitches, sorry about that guys. On track. Actually, Connor has not reached it yet, so that's why I just stopped on track. Just realized that. BXS is not in the pits, neither is Connor. Maybe we're gonna stay on their medium tires. The next Josh also will be staying out. Geared by Gaming, he will be into the pit lane. Swank stays out. Charlie will stay out. Ferrari and Dylan will stay out. Raceway will stay out.
Deciding to ditch those hard compound tyres is Feared by Gaming, as he does have wing damage.
Well, it's better to fix it under safety car than in normal racing conditions. He will probably be out around 9th place. Unfortunate for Avalanche, who at one point was in P3 of this race. He's all the way down in 11th now, because of the wing damage he sustained. But they will have brand new tires and can threaten the front of the field. But knowing Monaco, it's going to be pretty tough to overtake any drivers in this track, and actually give props to anyone who can overtake, especially in these tight track conditions. But Swank on those 13-lap-old hard tires, he's going to be struggling pretty hard. And actually saying that Dylan on the 12-lap-old mediums probably won't be feeling much better either. In fact, mediums should only be going a few, I'd say 25 laps in this race, compared to the hards who go a bit over 30 laps. So hopefully he can keep it in the race, but I can see him putting the time from the rubber.
Safety car will be out for at least another lap, but it will be out for at least another 2, I think, as the field only has just caught up to it as of last lap.
I've done so much talking in the stream before, my mouth is starting to turn dry a bit. But now they're all catching up with the safety car again. Feared by Gaming's back in pit lane, apparently. He lost his wing or something. But Hopefully he can fix it. And he's going to be back out in last place. Will he have new tires? Or he will stay on the same hard tires? Interesting. So if he can gain on the back of the field before they pass the second sector, I believe they can restart the race this lap, if not next lap. But I'm just wondering, for Tuang's sakes, how he will handle against the guys with the fresher tires behind him.
I've just noticed, Feared by Gaming, he did pit, but he's on another set of hards.
Yeah, wait, did he? Oh, I think he did it. Yeah, he pitted for his used tires. I think that's an accidental thing. He just put on his old tires again. Safety cars in this lap. That's really unfortunate for him. Of course, not the end of the world. Those tires can still go to the end, but he's probably gonna be kicking himself for that. So on board with Connor, he's gonna be leading the restart of this race again. He's coming on Raskas.
When will he go? Now.
He's gone.
That's a very good restart.
Meanwhile, behind, all cars are pretty spaced out.
Feared by Gaming.
Not gonna be much action on this time.
Wait, oh! Reese disqualified from the session for ignoring drive-through.
Oh my god, yes, he was disqualified. Of course, we've seen it before, disqualifications from the session. I mean, no, we've seen it before. He was given a driver penalty. He's never served it, actually, though. And because of that, he's received a disqualification. Really unfortunate for him, but yeah, that's going to be his race over. And there will be points for everyone on the field in this race.
Yeah, as long as Feared by Gaming finishes this race, he will score points, or at least makes 90%. As I think
meanwhile, the Red Bulls, Tuang is fighting against Charlie, I believe. If Charlie did let him by, I wouldn't know why, because Charlie does have fresher rubber.
Maybe they believe that Twonk is faster.
Ooh, Charlie's in the wall.
Maybe he also had wing. Yeah, I think Charlie had existing wing damage, or maybe did actually hit the wall in the tunnel, which meant that Twonk was allowed to just sail past as Cabrancon sets the fastest
lap of the race.
I knew there was going to be plenty of pit stops, but goodness, this is a lot more than I was expecting.
In fact, if we look at the stops, there's been two drivers that have already stopped 3 times, being Feared by Gaming and Avalanche, both stopping 3 times to repair their wings and choose new tires.
Yeah, and Carps, before retiring, stopped 4 times, so currently the highest amount of stops in this race is 4. Whether that will change, I don't know.
Yep, DXS is right behind Connor right now. But actually, I'm pretty low ERS compared to Connor's 50% ERS.
19.5 laps-ish to go of this Monaco Grand Prix in Division 2. Do you think Connor can? Do you think Connor can take the Triple Crown?
He's looking to do it right now, but DXS took it to disrupt that. Connor and DXS both very smooth. They never lost their wings or anything. Didn't help a lot. Oh, and there's
safety
another
car again.
Feared by Gaming is retired.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if we go on board with Charlie right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's lost his wing.
Yeah, he's lost his tire.
He lost his wing on the exit of the chicane, and then as he went round to back, it looked like he hit the outside wall, and maybe his car just kind of drifted to the inside. So, that's sure is a shame for Feared by Gaming there. He was on for points.
New tires. Connor might pit for new tires. We'll have to see, but I don't think he wants to forfeit the lead of the race, and neither does DXS. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I highly doubt that he will pit, as I mean, there's no point in forfeiting the lead unless, because if say DXS behind him is the only one that pits, or say him or Zenix Josh is the only ones that pit, then he doesn't really have much of a threat from them, as they're going to need to fight their way back through the field. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any point in him forfeiting the lead here, just to put on a fresher set of tyres, as he doesn't, and neither does DXS. Neither does Zenix Josh. All three of our podium runners are not pitting for new tyres.
Reese with a 16-lap-old medium is going to pit, understandably, for new medium tyres. Very good strategy by him. In fact, pretty smart too, considering he'll be on fresher rubber compared to everyone else, who will be on much older mediums and hard tires. In fact, the only person on hards is Twang. Will he stay out? I'm not sure, but I don't know if those tires can make it to the end. Because if we look at the lap count compared to his tire count, on his last tire count, he has done 18 laps, and he has, I believe, 17 more laps to go. So that'll be 35 laps on those tires.
Is it just my interval that's broken, or is yours?
Yeah, mine's also messed up.
Okay.
All the drivers are in the right positions, just additional time. But that will be fixed when you go past the line.
Sorry, carry on what you were saying.
You know what? I've spoken a lot today. Why don't you do a bit of the speaking?
Oh?
What are your thoughts on this race so far?
It's been a very eventful race, to say the least. I mean, there's been 5 retirement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 retirements. Sorry. This race so far, and it's only lap 22, so there's plenty more to come. This will be our 3rd safety car of the race. We've had 2 VSCs, I think, and 3 safety cars, so it's been clearly, another eventful New Horizons Monaco race. It seems to just happen every season for us. It's always a joy, to race around here, as difficult as the track is. It's always nice to just give yourself that extra challenge.
Charlie, a penalty.
Yeah, it's always nice to give yourself that extra challenge when going for the race. Charlie retiring.
Charlie's tired, wait, what?
It looks like just a loss of heart.
I don't think that's actually. I think Charlie has been having connection problems all day, and because of that, he decided to let go of the keys and let his car go. Sometimes when your connection's so bad, you think of everyone else and how they can be affected by it, and I think Charlie's realized that and has decided to hand away his race. So that means good points for the top 8 in this race. About, I'd say, half the grid is gone by now, -1. Safety cars in this lap.
Yeah. Make that 7 retirements of this race now, but let's ride on board with Connor as he makes the 3rd restart of this race after a safety car. Will it be another clean getaway for him, or can DXS challenge him? We'll find out now as he goes off the final corner. DXS gets a great launch. He's already challenging Carbrank here. They're side by side going into turn 1. Oh, there's collision!
Touched him. They both hit the wall.
Oh no!
Oh no! Connor's out of the race.
There's been a massive crash.
Oh no! And DXS is out of the race too. So next Josh is leading the race in Monaco.
DXS is still in.
What a change of events! Connor's out of the race.
That was not what I was. That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, me neither. Twang's in P2, Raceway in P3. 7 drivers left in the race. Connor's gonna be fuming about that.
That's such a shame. He was driving such a commanding race and ruined here. And not that was. I'm not gonna blame anyone for that, as that's not my job here tonight. That's a massive collision
run on
there.
Raceway, but race is defended. Yeah, that's crazy. More drivers out of the race and in the race now, with only a few laps left, being just above 15. So yeah, now Raceway and Twonk and Xenix Josh is looking for his first win, and at any place rather than Monaco. Twonk will be in P2 with 21 lap old hard tires. If he brings it from the end, we'll find out.
Collins passes Raceway into turn 1. What a move!
Was that a clean overtake?
Yeah, it was a great overtake from Collins there. I mean, I didn't really get to see it all, but wow.
Yeah, me neither, but great overtake then.
Any
overtake around Monaco that they get is a good overtake in my opinion. So yeah, Raceway's been put out of the podium. Will we get it back? We do not know, but Twonk's gonna be a bit sweaty with those 21 lap old hard tires compared to Collins is at the wall.
Is that wing damage for the Mercedes?
Wing damage. Is that wing damage? I think he's managed to save it, but yeah.
Yeah, he's got away with that. Twonk, being on the harder tyres, Collins should start closing and
he hits the wall again.
Maybe should be sizing up a move, but he can't seem to get close. He's trying to push so hard that he keeps making some contact with the wall. He's staying with him, but
it seems like he's making small contact, which just keeps his wing intact, but he's gotta make sure he keeps it well. I think Raceway has a run here.
Yeah, Raceway going around the same move the DXS did. That's oh my god. We almost had a repeat of the DXS Carbon incident there.
Avalanche has a run on him now.
But luckily Raceway was able to just turn in enough. It wasn't very sportsmanlike there as Collins didn't give him much room, but I mean there was enough room there just.
Very close racing here.
This is turning out
to battle for the rest of the places in this race. A lot of drivers out.
This is turning out to be a very special race.
But funny enough, not a lot of DNFs from the Monaco itself. A lot of them from just random different causes. Interesting to see for a race in Monaco that it's that way. But Xenix Josh has a 2.8 second lead. Twonk on 22 lap old hard tires. He's gonna be feeling the wear. Collins is trying to maintain P3, but he just keeps making contact with the wall. And he's a 3-second penalty for his efforts. That's not gonna help a lot. Raceway, he's just trying to do something for this race on these 17 lap old mediums. But yeah, Dylan has to run on Avalanche now. Luckily, Avalanche has DRS though, so let's see what happens.
Wow, this is
Avalanche. Avalanche doesn't have much DRS here. Actually hit 0 in the straight. As you were saying?
Yeah, this is turning out to be one of their memorable New Horizons races. I mean, we now have 8
wing damage for somebody. Yeah, that's Collins' wing damage. Collins was re-overtaken by never mind, not re-overtaken. Collins tried to do a move on Twonk. Oh, and he's lost his full wing.
Oh no! That's some more bad luck there for Collins.
He tried it on the inside of Twonk, and now he's feeling it as Raceway has got him too now. He keeps falling back, and he's gonna have to come in for new tires, or no, new wing, sorry.
Takes back his podium, does Raceway. Whether
the racing points hits the rear.
Yeah, Collins is slowed down there, and Avalanche wasn't expecting it, given the racing point
wing damage there. A lot to look at after the race here. From each driver, they're going to be all in the pits, except for the Ferrari who stayed out with the wing damage.
That's such a shame there for Avalanche. He was doing so well to crawl back into this race.
It seems like Collins tried to do it down the inside of Raceway, but he just hit the wall. He got squeezed and hit the wall and lost his full wing. And then with the 2 cars behind him, they got stuck, really. That's all what happened. They just got stuck and they hit his rear and nothing they could do about it. They lost their wings. DXS will go back to 5th place on his comeback drive, I believe. He gets a 3-second penalty though. He's pushing as hard as he can.
Collins has put the softs on, I've noticed. His Avalanche has his full stop.
The end.
Avalanche equaling Carps here with 4 stops, so...
Raceway is right behind Twonk. Both of them on pretty worn tires. Interestingly enough, Twonk with some good luck in this race for once. Today might just be his day to get P2 in this race, and you never know, maybe P1. But Raceway's gonna try to put it down a notch and put himself on P2.
Just trying to give Dylan some airtime here, as he hasn't been focused much in this race, but fair play to him. I mean,
He's not doing too bad. I mean, he has wing damage, but
yeah, he didn't have the
no,
best
he doesn't.
of.
Never mind. I don't think he has it.
He didn't have the best of starts, as picking up wing damage and having to pit around about lap 1.
Yeah.
But back into P4 here, he's only one position off the podium. If there's a collision or a mistake in front of him, he could grab his first New Horizons podium. You know, I don't want to commentator's curse anything, but he's driven well to be able to get himself back up into P4. I mean, yeah, he's had fortune on his side with collisions behind him, collisions with drivers that used to be in front of him before pitting. For example, DXS, Collins, and Avalanche. But you've got to have, you've got to have fortune as a racing driver. I mean, fair play to him. He hasn't given up, and he's kept going right until this moment.
Yeah. I said before that Dylan had wing damage. Race was in for new tires. He's gonna go on to the softs, I believe. I want to see if DXS will pass him. So Dylan's in P3 this race. Could be his first podium this season, I believe, unless he's done it before.
Yeah,
sure.
No, I don't think he has.
I think his best finish is in P4. Actually, I'm not an archive, or I don't know how it will be, but I believe that will be his first podium if he gets it. Dylan's actually right behind Twonk too, on much fresher rubber. What I want to find out is will Dylan, if he passes Twonk, gain on Zenith's Josh, who has 12 lap older medium tires compared to Dylan. Ooh, wing damage on who is that? I think Twonk has damage. Yeah, Twonk has wing damage.
Oh wow, so
Twonk has wing damage.
Heavy wing damage as well. That is.
He has to come in. He has to come in.
Oh, he's hit Dylan there. Well, I mean, he's slowed down and Dylan has run into the back of him. That puts Dylan up into P2.
Yeah, Dylan's in P2. Where will Twonk come out? Raceway, I believe pulled up a pretty good undercut. He will most likely have him for P3 in this race. And I think Twonk will be the man at the podium today, as DXS also passes him.
Raceway back onto the podium after it was looking like he wasn't going to finish there, but fair play.
Yeah, very fair play from all these drivers who are still in the race. Man, still feel for Connor though, who was set to get the triple crown today. He will end up having to wait till next season for that.
Yeah,
very unfortunate.
It sure is a shame for Connor. He did have a very good race up until now, and I think he definitely deserved to win the race, but just a bit of misfortune and just some hard racing. So
Twonk actually came down to last place in this race, even though it's seventh place saying that. But Raceway is on the soft tires, and he's only 11 seconds behind Dylan, so if he can gain in the closing stages of this race, he could end up troubling for a podium. Or not podium, sorry, higher finishing position. Though saying that he's not doing too much to gain on them this lap around. How long have we been here for? It's felt like an eternity.
It's those safety cars, I think.
Yeah. I felt like we started hours ago. And it was only been about 1 hour.
Well, not too long left in this race, so.
Yeah, I believe it's 7 laps left.
Yeah, so.
As Avalanche is right behind Collins for P5 in this race.
Dylan with a
Dylan
3-second penalty.
there. You know, I'm actually gonna look at the penalties and see who has what, because for all we know, Dylan could win the race. So, a lot of warnings, of course, because of track extension. Raceway has a 2-second penalty. Fear by Gaming has a 3-second penalty. I think he's out of the race.
He's out of the race, yeah.
Yeah, he's out of the race. Continuing with incidents. So yeah, Raceway has a 3-second penalty. Carps is out of the race. Fear by Gaming is out of the race. Carps again, Ellie's out. Raceway, 6 seconds worth of penalties. What else? Let's see here. Raceway, 9 seconds worth of penalties. Interesting here. Reese has penalties. Avalanche has a 5-second penalty for severe collision. Twonk has a 3-second penalty. Dylan has a 3-second penalty. Who else? Collins has a 3-second penalty. But I'm not seeing any penalties for Xenix Josh, interestingly enough.
Oh.
It'll be interesting to see how this race ends.
Yeah.
But for now, it looks like he's winning way to win.
I just want to point out,
Avalanche.
DXS is only about a second back from Raceway, meaning that if he can just keep that close to him, he could possibly get a podium. He could crawl back to the podium after, you know, being knocked off by wing damage. But
yeah, he's pretty close to Raceway, actually. But, you know, who's closer? It's actually Avalanche, who's right behind Collins. He'll be trying to take P5 in this race once more. DRS Open.
it's all about the run off the final corner, really, to be able to make an overtake into turn 1.
Just not close enough there.
You've got to.
Just not enough straights in this track, in my opinion. It's just, can't do anything about it.
You've got to stay behind and hope your opponent makes a mistake.
Yeah. Gotta be at least 2 tenths behind the driver and making the move.
This could be a very thrilling end to this race after a very
they're already
eventful
close.
39 laps. Well, by the end.
Yeah. DXS gonna be looking for a podium in this race, right behind Raceway. I believe, though, he will gain it under penalty conditions, as Raceway does have a few second penalties. Dylan is actually right behind Xenix Josh, too. Or not right behind, but gaining on him. Yeah, before it was about 6 seconds. Now 3 seconds. With 5 laps left in this race.
Fair play to
And
Collins.
actually, DXS has a run on Raceway.
Oh, wow.
And I believe he has a move done before the corner. Okay. Nice pass
Great.
by DXS there, but he goes a bit deep, and Race is going to come back on him. But he'll get pushed out of the way, and DXS will have P3 in this race.
Yeah.
DXS actually seems a bit pressured after that contact with Connor.
Collins, just want to talk about him for a second. You're coming from about I think
Josh
it's P14.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
thanks Josh in first place just got a 2-second penalty.
Now it also looks like Dylan is actually closing, so if Josh actually does get another penalty before this race ends, I believe Dylan will win the race.
It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to wind down for sure.
Yeah. Collins coming from P14, he's now P5. He's gained a total of 9 positions during this race.
Our biggest winner.
Yeah, he could have, he could have gained more, but obviously just some misfortune with wing damage has unfortunately brought him into the pit lane. The battle for P5 still isn't over yet. We could still have a change of position as Twonk goes into the pits for a change of front wing and a new set of softs.
Twonk's probably going to bring for the fastest lap. I guess has agreed that he can't get past Avalanche in time. Those will be new stuff for him. Avalanche will be putting the pressure on Collins more, but just can't get past him. And Dylan's actually 1.8 seconds behind Xenex Josh.
Oh, Twonk!
Ooh.
At the end of the pit lane, he's come round the he's come round turn 1, and
He's reset. That's good.
yeah, he's clipped the inside barrier. That seems to be an issue with some of our drivers here today.
Yeah, you get pretty close to the barriers next to the pit lane. I've never done it myself, or I don't think you have done it either.
I did it last week, I
But-
think, actually.
Oh,
Yellow
you've
flag
done it,
sector
well.
2 and 3.
I don't think there's anybody.
Oh! Look at Dylan! He's 3/10 back from Xenix Josh.
Oh my god, yes. Oh.
As Josh locks up
I did
into
not see
Mirabeau.
that.
Just trying to see,
It's
that
really close.
Mercedes doesn't have any damage.
It just has really worn tires, 27 laps old to be exact. I don't think mediums can go this far into the race, but he's surprising me quite a bit.
I'm not seeing any, I'm not seeing anything too alarming on those tyres. I mean, I do see a bit of graining, but it doesn't look
Dylan's really
too
close.
bad for now.
I mean, you can just see the difference in grip. Oh, if Dylan hits the wall, this is his wing.
Oh, that throws his Ferrari
He's lost
all
his
out of
wing.
shape.
So I think that Dylan, I'm sorry, I think Xanax Josh can go to the end of this race, but those tires, they are not in the best condition. In fact, they're probably somewhere around 70% wear, in my opinion, but I'm just estimating. But actually, Collins and Avalanche went to the pit lane as we were talking, and they both have really fresh new soft tires. I don't
That
know why
means-
Avalanche didn't just pit, like, you know, I don't know why he just, like, stayed out while Collins pitted. That would have been a free position for him. Let's make contact. You know. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's-
interesting. Looked like a bit of a double contact with the wall there, which ended up with Avalanche in the rear of him. But, oh, they make more contact.
DXS currently holding fastest lap. Can anyone take that away from him? The only two people on track right now that could do it is Collins or Avalanche. But being battling on track, that's looking very unlikely.
Yeah. It seems that every time someone's close to someone, we get wing damage and ruin the fun for us commentators who want to see a nice overtake in Monaco.
Dylan
Yeah.
dropping back more and more. Unless Xanax Josh gets a puncture on the final lap, then
I think he'll manage to make it, but those tires must be shot. I mean, completely destroyed.
definitely.
I want to see if DXS can gain on Dylan in these last few, on this last lap actually. This is the last lap, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Xenex Josh looks like he'll be taking the win here today, but penalty-wise, it could really be anybody. All these drivers pace pretty well. The excess, I don't think we'll be able to get to Dylan in time unless something happens with Dylan. He's 2 seconds behind now. Wow, 7 drivers left in the race. Pretty interesting there. Surprising that we lost these many drivers, but it's Monaco, let's not forget.
Coming through.
But Xenex Josh is coming down the last few corners now, just down rash gas. He seems to be coming for the win now today. He's kept it out of the wall. He's really done well to keep it in first place, and he'll take the win in Monaco, unless Dylan can do something about it. And he will not. And in fact, DXS will take P2 in the race because Dylan's penalties.
I don't think.
Next down the straight will be Raceway, who will take P4 in this race. And way back is Collins, who was just getting down the last 2 corners of the second sector. Of course, them pitting, they put quite a bit far back behind.
I don't think Dylan will be too bothered with P3
yeah,
there. I mean, a podium's a
still a good
podium for him.
finish. Yeah. Collins will come down and take P5, unless Avalanche can bother it a bit. But I think Avalanche is hitting his own penalties, so I don't know if that'll happen. Yeah, same time as him. And the last one's Twonk, who... bad luck continues. He was in P2 at one point, now he's at the very back of the grid. Saying that, it's only P7, so still good points. And the only points for Red Bull. He's gonna have some fun down to the line. And that'll be the end of the race.
If you want to...
I need water. I need a glass of water, because my mouth is so dry from talking.
I'm not surprised. If you can get the podium guys in here for me.
I know the schedule.
Yeah. I'll do the final rundown once we get to that screen. Our final rundown of the grid today then. Xenix Josh takes probably the most unlikely win of his career, coming back from P7 to win the race here in Monaco on that one-stop strategy. DXS finishes in P2 after looking like he might have not finished on the podium, but manages to get raceway and close enough of a gap to Dylan, who finishes in P3 with about 14 seconds of penalties, which meant that he did drop behind our P2 man DXS. Raceway finishes in P4 after picking up 15 seconds of penalties and finishes around about 30 seconds behind Dylan. Collins, P5, what a drive from that man, coming from P14 to P5, such a good drive from him, well done. Avalanche, P6, I mean, pretty disappointing for him, I presume, starting from second and finishing in P6. Twonk, P7, and then our non-finishers, Carbron Con, Charlie, Fiat, Reese, Slem11, James, Carps, and Ellie.
Fastest lap by DXS as well. That'll give him an extra point from P2.
I'm really sorry.
Someone sounds happy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, someone sounds happy for sure.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
so we got everyone here. Where do I begin? Xenix Josh, on an unlikely win for you. You kept it clean. How was the race for you?
I can't speak. I've literally not got any words. You can hear me, right? My audio's being a bit weird in my ear.
Yeah, I can hear you, don't worry.
I mean, I started from 7th. I screwed up in qualifying massively. I was really mad. On my final lap, I spun at the swimming pool bit, so I was in reverse. I don't know if I think you must have caught on stream. I was at the double right bit, and I was in reverse, and I was like, I swear to God, if I get a penalty for this, I'm trying my best not to block people. But yeah, the start, I can't even remember. It feels like years ago. The start was pretty good. I think I was side by side with Dylan, and I think Dylan outbroke himself into raceway. So there was a position. It was a couple of positions that I took, and I was in P3, and I was in a party with H. Collins because he's my teammate, and I was behind you, Connor, and it was it you and Designo?
I don't know if Collins is with us right now.
It wasn't Collins, but I was in a party with Collins, and I was talking to him, and I was like, Connor and that racing point are gonna crash, and I must have said it about 5 times at different laps, and I said they're battling me, they're gonna crash. And Hardy was like, yeah, it'd be good. I was like, mate, they're gonna do it. And then the last safety car restart, I finally got a good restart, and I saw the 2 crash, and then I was screaming at the top of my lungs, oh my God, it's happened, oh my God. I go underneath Connor's car as he's up into the air, and then I realise at that point that I'm in first, and I have it all to lose, and then I immediately lose all, feeling in my fingers. I'm pretty sure I couldn't drive for those laps at all. I was so nervous.
Speaking of that racing point, our second place finisher, DXS, a bit of a mixed bags in terms of the race for you. You managed to make a nice comeback and come back into P2. How was the race from your perspective?
It was really up and down, to be honest. Really frustrating. I hate this track. It's my least favorite. I'm really inconsistent on it, so the fact that I was able to get second is I'm quite happy with that. I think you could see in qualifying I was lacking a lot of pace, and it's just the confidence. So congratulations to Josh for winning. Deserves it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a great one, man.
Yeah, anything to elaborate on the collision between you and Connor near the end there after the safety car restart? What's your point of view on that, and what do you think happened?
Well, I had a better exit coming out onto the main straight, so I was able to get up, not entirely next to him, but on towards his left tire. And to be honest, I thought he had the inside line, so I wasn't really going for the overtake. I was just I wanted to carry my momentum through, so I could maybe catch him at the top of the hill. And the road kinks a little bit to the right, so I had nowhere to go, and I don't think maybe he thought I was as far up as I was, and I think we maybe just collided. Nowhere to go, two cars into one line. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got
ruining his
great view of
race.
that crash, if it helps.
Yeah, I'm sorry for taking him out. I really didn't want that to happen. I hate to be the reason people miss out on some good racing.
Yeah. Though one thing to say that's positive is actually he had a pretty good comeback. How's your feeling after that pit stop to fix your wing and everything? How was your comeback to get back to P2?
It was really good. I thought I had I thought I had some really good pace already when I was behind the McLaren, and I thought maybe I could just get a few points. I knew some people may be a little bit too aggressive with the tires, so I thought they'll definitely need to pit. So as soon as I got into the mediums, I just pushed as much as I could. I was in the clear air, so I knew I could make up time, and I just saw the delta coming down and down and down. I was hoping for a safety car, of course, but it didn't come out. And with everyone pitting and with Raceway was a little bit slow, so I managed to just pick off a few drivers. And towards the last two laps, I saw the first and second getting quite close to me, or I was getting quite close to them. So I thought if I could just get within 3 seconds, I didn't know if they had penalties or not, and I was just kind of hoping that I could maybe sneak my nose in there.
Yeah. Okay, so Dylan, I think this is your first podium, correct me if I'm wrong. How do you feel?
Great. It was a great, not great race, but at the end it was beautiful because of the podium.
Yeah. And how did you really get to this? Like, did you keep it clean? Did you have like a good pace?
Yeah, I think.
What brought you into this position?
I think it was almost all of it was my pace, because at the start I had collision with Josh and Rageway, because he braked a little bit earlier, and because of that I had wing damage. So I thought they're gonna be my race gone, and then I pitted. I was lost, and then a few cars get a DNF or DSQ, and then I had wing damage because of the tunnel, because I glitched into the wall. And then another time I had another time wing damage, so I need to pit then. So I pitted, I made the gap back because of the safety car. Then a little bit later was another safety car, and I need to pit because my tires were already dead. And then I saw Connor and DXS straight into the wall, and then I came back. I was a little bit careful because there was Strong in front of me, there was Raceway in front of me, I think Collins was also in front of me, and Collins got wing damage.
Sorry about that.
Tom get also wing damage, and Avalanche was also in front of me, got also wing damage from that. So they all four pitted, and I go get in front of them, and then the gap was
8 seconds. Trust me, I was reading it. I was so nervous. You were catching me at an alarming rate.
Yeah, I was like pushing my button to know if you had penalties, because I had 6 seconds, then 9, and then I heard he had zero penalties. Then I thought I need to push because I had freshest tires, and then I came close, but because of the close, he braked a little bit early, and I braked also then a little bit early. Because of that, I had a little bit oversteer. I go into the wide, double yellow wing damage, but I held it, and I knew that Raceway was in P4 and had 50 seconds penalty, so I knew I had literally the podium. And then at the end, DXS came a little bit closer, and then at the end he was like 1 second or 2 seconds behind me, and then I thought, oh please, I want to be on the podium. But I need to give the credits to Mikey because he has saved me a lot.
Okay, any questions for you, Blaze? Anything you want to ask, or you want to end it off now?
I mean, all I just want to say is, well done, Dylan, on your first podium, and well done, Josh, for, I believe that was your first win, wasn't it?
In this league, yeah, I've had I've had 2 wins before, one at Monaco as well. So Monaco's like it's my kingdom.
Yeah, well done on that, and well done, DXX, for your however many podium this is now for you. Good driving, everybody.
Right, I'm here.
Well done.
Connor, can I have that? Can I have that interview that I asked for in the Discord when I got a podium, please?
No.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna end it up today. Stay tuned as we will be having our Division 1 race in, I believe, Baku tomorrow. It's looking like clear skies, and I'm gonna be in it myself, so I'm gonna be happy to race it with my fellow D1 drivers. So we'll be blazed. Thank you for this one-time commentary to replace Connor. Hopefully we can see you more times around here.
Yeah.
Division 2 will also be going to Baku next week. It's also looking like pretty good weather, but you never know until the day comes. Anything else I missed, Connor?
No, pretty much it.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching the race, and we hope to see you tomorrow for our race in Division 1. Thanks.